we've gone full circle. So we was going to, originally we left off planning to change up how we're going to do the mounts. We've decided to full send it, and if we're going to do it, you're going to do something properly into it. So is the standard locations, obviously here for the gearbox side and the driver side. I mean, look at that. I mean, that's puny, tiny. These are meant for 125 horsepower. Well, from 50 up to the 125. Absolutely pathetic, weedy thing. And we was just going to originally put a plate on here to try and shift the whole thing back. But our motto, if we're going to do something, we
do it properly.
So we're going to literally get rid of all of this crap, cut it all out, all this, get rid of it all. Some of this bit around here can all go, same as here. May as well scallop out a bit of that, free up a bit of room, and then once it is off, we can start by capping this section here and figure out exactly how far up the engine needs to sit, because a bit higher than it did previously. But the beauty is the way it comes out the mounts on the side, it's pretty much going to be up and straight across. If we had more time, we'd have loved to have literally just lopped it off from here and completely remade everything, but we don't have
room to actually change an auxiliary belt while it's in the engine.
Yeah, but
because there ain't much room.
It's just that we haven't. Would love to do it, but I think that's under maybe to do later. Completely tubed front end. There's like 2 weeks left, so not good. But yeah, there's someone's notch here that is not the greatest job in the world. Obviously, this car was yeah, that was the politically correct word, scene queen previously. So we may have a look at trying out a bit of.
We'll undo their fuck up.
Yep. Right. Liam's got his PPE because obviously we like to do things and be safe. And he brings over. Me and Sam just do the safety squint normally, and that does result in us.
I'm getting glasses.
Yeah, we do hurt ourselves quite often. So let's get grinding. Due to the greatness that is this British weather, it is raining tonight, and it's been nice all week. It's about 20 something like degrees most of the week. Obviously, today you want to do stuff, rain and cold. Well, it's not overly cold, it's about 12 degrees. So we need to get the car inside. We decided we've made a bit of a space, I think I'm going to call it that. There's a blank patch. We were going to try and get the other lower arm in, the other hub on, but we decided that it was more effort than doing it this way. Obviously it's got to go back on stand regardless, the whole thing's got to come off. So, improvise. We've got the trusty crane tied around subframe. Now we're just going to drag it in. So there's 4 of us, should be alright. Liam's just dragging the cement mixer out. So I need to give a name to that thing, but I can't think of anything. What? Boris the cement mixer. That I would not know.
Get some more.
We'll have to put a little face on the side, but that can't. It needs to not live in here anyway. You need to find a home for it. But there you go. That.
The torpedo, and it can live in there.
Oh, well, the Triumph can stay. Triumph House is final.
Triumph is a terrible idea.
So Dave is painting away, and I probably should give a hand. Right, be right back. The result of the end of Thursday evening's antics. We've managed, well, I say we, the royal we, Liam has managed to get the plate mount welded in on the gearbox side. It's more of a case of positioning it and try and figure out exactly how and where it's going to sit. So looking at this, obviously being that the O2M box, the 6-speed is massive. So they need to go back another 10 mil or so over further this way, but obviously it's a bit awkward. We sort of jerry-rigged it up, trying to hold it as still as possible, just to, we can see after how everything's going to sit in relation to how the stock one would sit. There's a way of clearance, it's going to be tight, and the thing that worries us is on this side of how close, obviously, this is going to sit. Basically, this makes sure the angle is going to be enough. Well, basically not bad enough to cause us any issues, but obviously it's pretty much as straight as we can get it. In an ideal world, obviously it'll be completely parallel, but this is life is never that easy.
Ideal world. It's not an ideal build. We're putting a big block Volkswagen into a small car. that's designed for a small block.
Ideally, we'd like to have more time to be able to completely rip all this off and pretty much go something more like to what a Mark 4 is, but time is not on our side. So this is all be a test bed of keeping the stock rails and seeing how far it actually will go. We don't even know till after we start and try it if it actually is going to fit. Maybe the way that Kit had it before, that proper dropped it far down, maybe the only way.
Probably an inch lower than that.
So we want to obviously keep it as high as possible so we've got enough ground clearance if it ever goes onto the road. But that still being back, obviously we've got the master on there. This is the Focus one, which is a stubby master cylinder. So you can see that from this side it's going to be very, very, very tight. We potentially, well, we do have a pedal box down at Sam's that, if it came to it, that we could possibly use, but we don't. We want to try and retain. I won't say as much as the standard car bits. We've ripped like everything out, but at least that part of it to just not have any complications for on brakes and clutch and accelerator.
Josh wants the easy life and not having a full pedal box in it.
Yeah, I really don't want to do that.
Pedal boxes are a bit of a pain in the ass because you've got to make a mount for them.
Mounts for them, how everything else is going to sit, and obviously the feel is not the same as a standard servo. So it is what it is. We've got.
Tell them how you've got a deadline.
Oh yeah.
You've got a deadline.
So there's still
certain things completed on the tick list. If we don't have them completed by Sunday, this is getting parked up and we are building something else because we have got 2 weeks. And if we haven't got the engine in, mounted and manifold done by Sunday, we ain't getting it done.
No, that is our worry. We've there is a lot of awful amount left to do.
We've still got full fuel system to do. Got brakes to sort. We've got a roll cage to order and build because you've still got to order the tube, which is going to be a pain in the arse.
So we have managed to rip out the interior, so at least we know with the lube bits all this can come out. So worst comes to worst, we're just going to drop either the lube off the cart, or I've got the spare full lube and put the whole thing in it. The wiring we think is going to be the easy thing. Sort of when it all comes to it, it's just that, and we've got the shafts as well. So okay, if it's not done by Sunday, then it's going to be a case of looking at something else to bring, either fixing the cart or the VR6 lump actually gets home in the TT. So we'll hopefully see after Sunday. Just about to pack up, and I thought I'd make a little update to it. The engine is pretty much exactly now where we want it to sit. This is just pretty much for show, it's just holding it here. We've got the jack underneath it, and Liam has got this side mocked up. We built on a little slot just so we've got a bit of adjustment in it from front to back. So basically when obviously the master into the front and the angle, we could it's just easy to have a little bit of well, there's a lot of adjustment, but to have some adjustment is okay. This side we haven't got made up. We got to 10:30, and we thought we probably shouldn't be doing any more cutting outside because it is quite loud. So, and I mean, my neighbours are sound, but it's not pushing the luck. So yeah, we'll call it a day. A couple of the bits that we're gonna get. We've got a full day Saturday tomorrow, so we're pretty much getting closer to that decision-making point. Found another snail. We've got Terry Jr. Big Terry fell down on the rear sill, so I knocked him off by accident yesterday. But that is pretty much where we're at. Oh, engine. It's a bit dark because the lights turned off. But that's piston. All 4 pistons are in, torqued up. The new pickups on, sumps on. It's just waiting for tomorrow when we will get the head back on. We'll put the cams back in, give them all a clean up. Head on, head gasket. Oh, and then that's it, back together. That's pretty much all it is. Putting the condom back on it. Well, the fresh condom. The other condoms are on them other 2 engines.
You've been doing this on power.
There we go. So we put the mixer back in, which I still need to find a home for it. May do that tomorrow. Hopefully that the weather stays nice, because I do need to cut the grass. So the trusty wheel horse, it's just supposed to be used as part storage. So I mean, I had a little bit of a tidy up in here. At least we can there is a bit of a floor, but Yeah, maybe tomorrow I can make it a little bit nicer because Liam's got to get started with. Decided for, I can't remember if I've actually mentioned this, but the exhaust housing to be able to mount the wastegate directly onto it. Obviously the collectors on here, it's just the easiest way we thought of doing it. I mean, we've seen quite a few things of people doing it with sort of good effect. Hopefully it's going to work. We'll only say find out one way, so, and what's just going to happen? It just makes a lot more power than it should.
Hopefully the boost creep shouldn't be too bad.
Yeah, I'll say
We don't mind
cross
the
that
boost creep, but it's just involuntary extra power.
So it's hopefully, as long as it doesn't rip gears, well, rip tyres in second gear, I don't really like to.
It's just I reckon even with the slicks on, it's going to spin through second.
So just full
How
send.
much you can control the spin.
So yeah, they've got to be the first time using these because you've had these for a while, ain't you, Sam? But not actually.
Yeah, I bought them off the Dark Side of Roast last year. Yeah, about this time last year.
So yeah, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. It's gonna be quick. It's gonna be quick.
Because those tyres have already done like what, a mid-9 are they?
Yeah.
I think they were roasterized. So those tyres have been quick. So we've got to get them back down into the good numbers.
It'd be worth having a look at back at their videos just to see exactly how well it goes off the line. Sort of give myself a benchmark on what I can set the parameters up for the launch control, how to get it to effectively get out the hole, obviously, and be quick. But that is it for us for another night. So hope it's just sunny and not windy tomorrow.